welcome back to the Connor Weston Wheel of Fortune. I've been thinking a lot about the future self, higher self, next version of yourself, whatever you want to call it. And I've just been speaking with Freddie quite a lot just about like basically removing himself from his past self and then accepting the future self, which is a very big change for a lot of people. Luckily, Freddie's introspective and smart enough to know that like whether you believe in it or not, that there's an alternate reality with a you that is already doing the things that you want to do and has the things that you already want. It's a bit of a weird conversation to have with yourself and other people because realistically, is it real? Is anything else real? No one really knows. So that's kind of the part of it, right? Like no one really knows. But just from my personal experience and what I would recommend to other people is if you literally just think the Connor that I want to be in 12 months, obviously it helps if you thought about who you want to be in the next 12, 24, 72, however many months. If you actually think about that and the goals that you want to achieve, the things that you want to have, the family you want to build, blah, 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 blah. And then you just think about what that person is like and how they make decisions and how they live their life and how they walk, talk, breathe, everything else. Decisions become a lot easier. For example, I know I bang on the drum about how much I've spent in personal development this year, but if you would have asked me 6 months ago, would I spend $3,000 on a Sunday morning without even meeting someone just to fulfill a service that I need, I would have said, no, I don't do that. I need to do my due diligence. I need to do my research. And don't get me wrong, I still did my due diligence, still did my research, but like it took me a day just to figure it out. Didn't need a call, just needed a few messages. And then this morning I spent another $3,000 to get trial reels fully outsourced and done for my Instagram page. So obviously the person 6 months ago wouldn't have expected that. But if the person 6 months ago thought how I'm thinking now, then they would have done. And that's when I started investing in myself about 6 months ago. So it all kind of rings true. And in my mind, I'm thinking the person that I want to be in 6-12 months time is a wheeler, dealer, geezer, printing $1 million a month, like doing big numbers, doing big things, traveling for the world, not caring about what I spend. Like right now the money is good, but I still care about what I spend. I'm not trying to be wasteful. I'm living in a very abundant space where stuff comes to me. So like I think what's important to remember for people is abundance isn't a free ticket just to spend carelessly. Like there's a few things that you need in your life: the gym, food, drinks, clothes. Like spend what you need. Don't overspend just for the sake of it or just to impress people that you don't care about, that don't care about you. So in my mind, the main sort of overarching theme is just live not in the future because you need to be present. But when it comes to making decisions and stuff that's going to impact your life, just think about the person, not you are now, the person that you'd like to be and how they would do those things. I speak to a lot of people who are like, oh, I'm looking for a setting role. I'm like, okay, cool. We can get you a setting role yesterday. Like really not hard. But let me ask you this. Does this person in 12 months time want to be a setter? No. Why? Because they want to be a closer. Okay, for XYZ reason. Cool. So why don't you just become a closer now and, figure it out as you go along? Get a bit of an imposter syndrome along the way, which I think is key. A lot of people shy away from imposter syndrome. But for me, it's like, if you don't get imposter syndrome, then you're probably not trying hard enough and you're not putting yourself out of your comfort zone enough to, experience that. Like at the end of the day, it's just an emotion. It's just a feeling. It's just a narrative in your head. So the quicker you can get into it, get through it and move on, the quicker you can then sort of achieve what you want to achieve. No one's ever ready for anything. Parents aren't ready for kids. No one's ready for marriage. No one's ready to buy a house. No one's ready to do anything. But the person in 12, 18, 24 months probably is. So just act like them. And for me, I see that as like a very safe and very comfortable way of making decisions. Is obviously if your back's against the wall and you're going to spend everything you have, it's going to cause a bit of stress. But that stress is like, you can go two ways. And I know I'm a hammer. So I've been talking about this with my team a lot, is my way of motivating people is by hammering them, treating them like nails and expecting them to crumble and then be reborn out of the ashes like a phoenix, because that's how I operate. And I know not everyone's the same, and this is hence why I'm trying to think of how I would lead a team in a year's time, in 2 years' time, as opposed to now, because that's not going to get me everywhere. It's not going to get me as far, and it probably won't help the team to be motivated. So I need to know how people are motivated and how people live, but also I need to educate them on, I'm only hammering you because I know it will get the outcome that I need if you don't let the hammer break you. Makes sense. So if you let the hammer nail you to a point where you're like, yep, I need to change, because this is what I'm trying to get people at, is the breaking point. I want them to be at the point where they say enough is enough. I don't need any external motivation. I don't need any external fuel. I know what I want. I know how to get it, or I know the next few steps on how to get it. And I don't actually need kind of batter me into a place anymore where I don't feel good enough and X, Y, Z. This is from my own personal experiences. When you're at rock bottom, or what you perceive to be rock bottom, that's when you really draw the line in the sand and you make shit work. When I spent all my money on coaching, I make it work. Got so much more from spending the money on coaching than I did ever without it. Like it's kind of it's like the more money you make, the more money you need to spend on getting better. It's like the constant theme. So for me, when I was younger, I was getting loads of water sports qualifications and tickets, dive master, windsurf instructor, sailing instructor, SPDA, SPD2, whatever it's called, senior instructor, power, safety, but all this sort of stuff. And you're constantly leveling up. You're constantly spending money on yourself, but then you're getting paid more in return. And I let that slide a little bit because when I'm doing these tickets, obviously I'm not a powerboat instructor yet, but if I spend the money to become one, I will then become one. It's kind of very basic. It's like if you want to be a doctor, so you spend the money on your degree to become a doctor. You're not a doctor yet, but you're spending the money before you have become the doctor because you know you're going to be the doctor. It's like the same thing. And for me, it took a long time to remember that. And now I'm going heavy on it because like I said, I spent 3K this morning on trial reels. And for me, I just know that's going to bring more views, more clicks, more messages, more everything. So for me, this is the part of the self-discovery journey of just making the decision not as who I am now, but the person I want to be. So again, if you're an SDR or you're a setter and you want to be a closer, just go for those roles. If you don't make the money and you don't have anything else, at least you put yourself in the position to know that you need more training, you need more education, you need to improve your skill set. So for me, I want to do more work on the quantum mechanics, quantum reality, all that sort of stuff, because I don't really understand it to a high enough level now to talk about it with any authority. But this is where I'm flirting between the documentation and the authority sort of space. I'm just documenting my journey on building this business currently in Bali, and there'd be an element of authority when it comes to sales, personal branding, and a few other things that I have a lot of repetitions, a lot of experience in, but stuff like the mind, the quantum side of stuff, I have no shame in admitting that I'm still learning, and I love it because it makes me who I am, and I know that I'm only going to be getting better. And as long as I keep this theme and I keep this rhetoric of self-development, education, spending money on myself and back into the business, then I don't see there as being too many downfalls. And luckily enough for me, a lot of my team I'm either in very close proximity with, or like Freddie I live with. So I know that for him, he isn't where I am in terms of his personal development, in terms of my mindset and all this sort of stuff. So what I can give him is my time, attention, my thoughts. We spoke for a couple of hours earlier, and we're talking about if I like creme brulee. I was like, I don't give a if I like creme brulee. And he was saying, but you must know if you like it or you don't. I'm like, those thoughts are so low level, and I know this seems trivial, but yeah, I'll eat a creme brulee. But I don't, in my mind, I've only got a certain amount of space to think about things. And I'd rather think about the person that I'm becoming, the business that I'm building, the people that I'm helping, the jobs that I'm fulfilling, all of these other things, the people that I'm serving, whatnot. That's a much better thought in my mind than do I like creme brulee? Do you know, I don't believe that there's good or bad in terms of what you think about, but no, actually that's bullshit. I do believe there's so much trash in the world. I don't need drama. I don't need bullshit. I don't need to make light conversation that's just worthless. I want to be having good conversations. And when it came to the point, he was asking me yeah, but you don't like to be wrong, do you? I was like, I love being wrong. I want to be wrong as often as possible, because the more times I'm wrong, the more I'm learning. The more I'm learning, the more I'm just fulfilling this thing that I should be doing, which is getting better at everything and becoming a better salesperson, becoming a better business owner, becoming a better leader, becoming a better manager, become a better bloke just in general. So yeah, for me, the overarching theme is literally just who do I want to be in the next few years, and then just embody those traits. What I should do is a resource, which I haven't done, so that's on me, but a resource about predicting your future self. I have the archetype of the architect of your life document, which plans it out, but it's going deeper into the person that you want to be. So that's my next bit of homework, and I've just given myself that now. So if you want it, I should have done it by the time this video is up, and I can send it to you. But really all that doc is going to include is define the person that you want to be in the next few years, and then give me their traits, give me their characteristics. How do they operate on a daily basis? All of these sorts of things that I've gone through time and time again, I'm just now burying it into my head. I'm just putting it surface, no longer surface level. It's deep in my brain. And I watch people like Hopkins or Rob the Bank, and I'm just okay, you guys are very on the quantum level, the spiritual level. You guys are going deep into it, and you can tell in their content that they're really delving into this. Especially, I was looking at a guy earlier who I think I met before, but he's a business owner hypnotist. I was like, I'd love to do that. I'd like to see where it takes me. I'm open to new experiences. I'm not gonna just peg myself into learning in one respect. I want to learn in all realms, whether it's doing a psychedelic trip, whether it's doing hypnosis, whether it's getting another course or another mentor, whatever it is. I know that the more I put in and the more experience that I get, the more I will get from it. The pendulum, if you will. So yeah, that's just my thoughts. Nothing here. Sometimes I like a stressful rant. I'm feeling pretty chilled today. I'm very much trying to do very little work at the weekends, because I know that it just burns me out and sort of writes me off. But I'm at a beach club today, had a few cigars, had tons of coffees, feel good, feel relaxed, went for a snorkel, and yeah, just booking the next trip, because because I've noticed that I haven't done anything extremely fun in a while, and I'd like to put more of my vlog lifestyle onto YouTube, and that basically means boat trips, surf trips, spearfishing, and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for all of that shit. I feel like people like that more because it's more exciting than just me talking, but you know, at least I'm not at home talking in my room. I'm talking somewhere fairly nice. It looks kind of nice anyway, and this camera's just propped up on a bit of wood, but you know, probably make a good thumbnail. Anyway, just taking every day as it comes, trying to do the best that I can, trying not to overspend in areas that don't need to be spent in, and yeah, make this shit work, inspire people, educate people, and entertain in some realm or another. So yeah, love you lots. If you don't want to subscribe, don't worry. Love you, miss you, kiss you. Have a great day. Bye for now. Ciao, ciao.